Hey, this is your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode. Is this the final episode? Nope, we got another episode next week. Anyway, I'm bringing you another episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 19, Reunion Part 2. Part 2. All right. Oh, hey. All right, so... if you are new here, welcome. Now let me get some balloons and some confetti. Let the church say amen. We do TV and movie reviews here. Okay. Okay. All right. So, and also, if you are returning, welcome back. What? Yes, honey. Let me just put this little comment in here.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, because it's about to be real nasty up in here, okay? And you know who is the focus on this nastiness, okay? But viewer discretion is advised, okay? So, anyway, Kathy and Jennifer arrive, at the at the venue, whatever. They arrive, okay, because they wasn't on the first half, so they arrive. Honey, Kathy is in a muumuu and some rollers, okay. I am not mad at it, okay? I'm not mad at it. It was funny though. It was funny. But that's how you arrive when you rich, okay? Don't nobody care. Listen, she don't care about what anybody say, honey. I'm not mad at the whole situation. Anyway, so they still on lunch break. So Garcelle and Sutton are in the back talking on the couch. And so Garcelle was like, you can't trust any of these hoes. But she ain't say hoes, but that's what she was thinking. I just put that in there for you, Garcelle. She can't trust any of these people. And Sutton was like, I don't know why Kyle got so mad. Shut up, Sutton. Anyway, Garcelle was like, this some bullshit. Okay. Sutton was like, can I go home now? Nope, because you are going on the firing squad now. It was Garcelle's turn in the first half. It's going to be you next. Okay, so they go back on stage. And they go into talking about Morgan and Kyle. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Viewer discretion is in mind. Okay, so Garcelle said, Kyle, the thing you told me off camera, was that to shut me up? And so Kyle was like, well, I couldn't say it on camera. I was just sharing with you and being a friend to you. And Garcelle was like, okay. Literally, the face was like, okay. She was like, I'm done with this conversation. And so Andy was like, well, the people at home say you are on a reality show. And so you should be telling them everything. Kyle was like, I'm not going to say something that'll affect my daughter's lives for a TV show, network, fans, or ratings, or whatever. Come here, Kyle. Your daughters are grown, first and foremost, okay? If you are lesbian, if you are bi, they can handle it, okay? They can handle it. Your daughters may be experimenting too with females, okay? Okay, and it's okay too. Okay, you experiment a lot when you in college, when you in high school. Okay, so they may be experimenting too. It is okay, but your daughters are grown. I see if your daughters was Dorit's age, but your daughters are grown. They can handle it. Okay. They can handle it. And if they friends say your mama gay, and they can say your mama gay too. Shit, what the fuck? The fuck? They can handle it. You know how this is a different generation. This is different. They don't care about that shit the way the older generation care about that shit. No, they don't care about that shit. This is a different generation. A lot of them got two dads and two moms and shit like that. It is okay. I think it's you that don't want to come out the closet. You think it's you that don't want to come out the closet. Okay. I don't think it has nothing to do with your daughters, nothing to do with your family. I think it's you. And that's okay too. But just admit it. Just admit it. You're not comfortable coming out the closet. It's fine. It is fine. But just admit it. Don't put it on your daughters, because your daughters may be experimenting too. Okay? This is a different generation. Okay? Okay? So your daughters may be doing their thing too. Okay? So don't put it on your daughters. You put it on yourself, because that's where it need to be. You don't feel comfortable coming out the closet for what people will say about you. That's fine. And that's fine, but just say it. Just admit it. Stand 10 toes down in it. Thank you very much. Moving on. Okay, moving on. So Bo said the same thing. She said, well, listen, say I'm not sharing, and then stand in that. Okay? Because you are afraid to come out. You are afraid to come out. Don't blame your daughter. You are afraid to come out. Just like I said, stand in it. You know, I'm not comfortable talking about that. Okay? Just stand in it. You know, it is okay. Okay? Just say I don't want to come out the closet. Just say it. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so Andy changes the subject. He said that Dorit said that Kyle has two sets of rules, one for Dorit and one for everybody else. And then Kyle was like, well, I feel the same way about you. And so basically, because Erica is their only friend, they basically quick to forgive Erica, but not quick to forgive both each other. And as this conversation go along, we can see why. Anyway, so Dorit said, when you, Kyle, said I exaggerated our friendship, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And so Kyle was like, well, I was upset with you on Watch What Happens Live, when Dorit said that when Morgan came into the picture, then Kyle distanced herself from her. And so, but maybe Dorit, come here, baby, come here. You should have licked her twat. Maybe y'all been close, real close. I told you, viewers, y'all would have been close. If you would have licked her, y'all would have sucked on the titty or something. See, Morgan came in and did all that stuff for you, and then Then she left you alone. You should have get in there. You should have got in there. I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm just saying. Should have licked it. Anyway, so Dorit said the last dinner where we were close. It was for Mo's birthday in London, and Morgan was there. Okay, but after that, she said you distanced yourself from her. Maybe they had a good night, her and Morgan. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. You should have been in that threesome. You could have all get in there. Okay. I'm just saying. Kyle said, well, I guess I apologize. She said, I brought Morgan on, and, now it's causing her anxiety. And I feel guilty about it. And, because she doesn't want to be a part of this franchise, basically. But Andy was like, ain't she a performer? Ain't she a performer? Okay. So this should be good for her, like, advertisement and stuff. Ain't she a performer? And so she said, what'd she say? And so she said, but Kyle was like, yeah, but these are Housewives fans. And I do agree with Kyle on that. Okay, because reality show fans take it a way, way, way too far. Yes. So I totally agree. I totally agree with Kyle, and I don't agree with Kyle a lot, but I do totally agree with Kyle. Reality show fans, housewife fans, any kind of fan, the reality show fans, they take it way too far because they feel like that they know this person. They know this person because it is their quote unquote reality, and they know this person, and so they team Kyle, and so when it feels like something is wrong, then they go out their way to harass people. And I agree. I totally agree. I do. But Dorit did say also, okay, so Dorit got a point too. She did become a household name because a lot of people didn't know her. I think it was like underground, indie, whatever kind of music she did. Okay, well, after she was on the show, I'm quite sure her concerts are a little more got a little more people to it. Okay, so a lot of people probably buying her music because nobody probably knew her until she got on Beverly Hills. So she just she just got to take the good with the bad. She came on a reality show, and now she got to deal with these reality fans. But she got more fans because she was on the reality show. You gotta take the good with the bad. You probably making more money now. You selling more tickets. People buying your music because they know. So because I'm quite sure they researched you when you was on the show. They tried to Google you and listen to your music and stuff. And if they liked it, so you gotta take with the good with the bad, Morgan. You do. All right. So and then Andy was like, yeah, one of the New York Times article. So hey, you gotta take good with the bad, Sugar Shack. You do. But Andy also said putting out a music video where you two were lovers, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And then Sutton was like, was there cake in the video? No, that's not what he meant. Would eat it too. That's not what he meant by eat it too. That definitely was not what he meant. Okay. Oh shoot. Oh yeah, yeah. That wasn't what he meant. Okay. But you know. Yeah. Anyway. Uh. Okay. Here. Okay. So then Kyle. So Dorit said, Kyle, you said that people gonna talk, so let's give them something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. Yeah. So they talking about you. Okay. So it is what it is. Come on out the closet, girl. Come on out. Are you gonna come out next season? Okay. Is that gonna be your storyline? You gonna come out the closet then? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. So Dorit, Andy said, Dorit, no, let me see. Dorit, you want Kyle, to be open and honest. And Kyle, you want Dorit to have more accountability. So Kyle was like, yeah, we can still work on that. And then Dorit said, well, we're a work in progress. Okay. So now we're talking about PK and Kyle texting. Okay. So they showed the montage of PK and Kyle texting. Okay. Saying it's just memes. Yeah. Saying it's just memes. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. All right. So Dorit said, well, can you wrap your head around how fucked up that is? Okay. She said, well, I text PK when you announced your separation. But I wasn't speaking to you. So you speaking to my separated husband? You speaking to my separated husband, but you not speaking to me? And how is that cool? How is that cool? You should have more texts your ex-husband, okay? Your separated husband. And just tell him, Mo, just tell him I feel bad and all that other stuff. You shouldn't be texting my separated husband for under no circumstances. Ma'am. Ma'am, especially if we ain't speaking. Ma'am. So then they got some unseen footage. Okay? Unseen footage. Some bullshit. Goddamn. Kyle was saying to Erica, PK tells me a lot of stuff, but I don't want to blindside her with that information. What the fuck?
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
The fuck? So basically, he just talking the shit about Dorit, and you gonna keep all of that a secret. And when you my friend, you are not. No, no. Okay, you is low down. Do I have a low down? Dumb ass. Oh, here we go.
This is fucked. This is not right. This is not cool.
That's not
this
cool.
Is fucking bullshit.
It's some fucking bullshit. That's a good answer. Yes, it's some fucking bullshit. Okay. That's a low down. That's a low dirty dog. Okay. like Quad said, you dirty bitch. Yes. That's a low down. That's low down. Anyway. So Andy poses the question, is anybody team Kyle on the text? Nobody. Okay, nobody answered. Nobody rose their hand, nothing. Nobody. Yeah, because she was wrong in the motherfucker. So Bo said, when you said I never repeat anything, that makes me feel like there's something else. And no, Garcelle said that. Garcelle said, when you repeat it, I will never repeat anything. Then that feels like something else. And then Bo said, yeah, it sounds like you keeping secrets, ma'am. It sounds like you keeping secrets. And you keeping her husband's secrets. Catch them T's. Her husband's secrets. And so, and Dorit was like, you can still abide by the girl code. Yeah. And tell me what he said. Kyle was like, what I expect, no, Dorit said, what I expected you to say was, I sent him a message, I sent him a message when I heard y'all separated, and she said, and I can understand that. Then Kyle was like, I'm a girl's girl. I come from a family of women, and I have all daughters. And you still not a girl's girl. Okay? You still not a girl's girl. But Dorit said, in the confessional, Kyle, you said PK is a better friend to you than Dorit. And he said, yeah, because he checked up on me. And she was just like, and that makes him a better friend? Some bullshit. No, that's some bullshit. And Garcelle said, she said, I just think that Dorit wanted you to choose her, and a lot of the stage agreed that she just wanted Kyle. Dorit just wanted Kyle to choose her over PK. And she couldn't do that. So I think that may be how you was raised, that you pick the side of the man instead of the side of the woman. Because a lot of people who, even females, was raised like that. You pick the woman you pick the man over the woman. That's why people, when they talking about sexual abuse or whatever, and there's a lot of women talking about, well, what you have on about, sexual assault and something like that. What were you wearing and whatever. You made advances to him. Well, you shouldn't have been in that position. You shouldn't have been drinking. You shouldn't have been. There's a lot of women that do that, and that's because they identify with the males. They do. I'm a girl's girl. I'm always on female side. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, I'm always on female side until you prove me wrong. Until you say, something that prove me wrong. I'm always believe a woman. I'm always believe her. Always. Until otherwise. I couldn't get that out, could I? That's all right. That's why I need to keep going on. Let's move on. All right. Andy. Bo said you call Kyle a liar on the Hot Mic podcast. And so Bo said, well, there was lies being told. And so Kyle was like, what lies? And she was like, you saying that you was texting PK jokes and memes, and there was something else, and she was like, I never lied. And so she was like, you said jokes and memes. And from my perspective, that omission is still lies. And I agree with that too. I agree with that, Bo. And so Garcelle said it would have been okay if you said you was talking shit about her, but I was mad at you. That's all you should have said. She said, but I never talk shit about you, and he never gossip about you. But you said that PK said a lot of stuff about her, and you don't want to blindside her with the information. Now he ain't gossiping about you? Bitch, please. Bitch, please, okay? Go on ahead with that shit, okay? Where is it?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Yes. Why the fuck you lying? Cause come on. So, but Dorit said, but you have talked shit about me to him. And so she was like, well, I was just telling them why we weren't speaking. That is gossip. That is gossip. Okay. Bitch, that's gossip. God damn. Shit. That is gossip. Okay. So that, and Dorit said, yeah, that's talking shit. She was, and it's cash shit too. Okay, cash money shit. Okay, you talking? And she was like, she said, Kyle, that's juvenile. And she said, then you called him after we were in Oceanside. So you already, you already are, people already mad at you about you texting PK, and they harassing you about you texting him. Then you call him after you go to you come back from Oceanside, and what's the killer is PK telling Dorit everything. So she already know you talking cash shit about her. Cause PK telling her. And she's still texting him. Now she ain't texting no more. She calling him. But PK still telling Dorit. So what? Okay, anyway. Kyle said, because it was a huge drama and fight about this whatever. She don't even know what the fuck, whatever it is. And so, Dorit was like, well, can we talk one-on-one without cameras, without the girls, without Andy, whatever. And Andy was like, got offended, like, oh, you don't want to talk with me? He said, and she said, Kyle said, I'll be happy to. Okay, we're going to move on. So Jennifer come out. So Jennifer got her little montage. And Jennifer said, I'm a Housewife super fan, but it's really different being on the show. It's really real. And Bose was like, yeah, she was co-signing with that. she said it's glitter, glam, and girls screaming. That's all it is. So then she said, and Andy was like, yeah, he said, yeah, at Oceanside, yeah, you had dinner in the movie. You wasn't in the mess. He said, but in St. Lucia, you were in the middle of the mess. Yeah, Jennifer for like, yeah, I didn't like being in the middle. I don't blame her. And so, and then a viewer questioned, asking about her bag, her boat bag. And so Jennifer said, people have drug dealers. She said, I got a bag dealer. I know that's right, girl. I know that's right. So Andy asked her about her Simpsons check. He said, is it over 7 figures? I think it's over 8 figures, honestly. And she said, I can't say. I think it is, because Simpson, they're still going on, first and foremost. Second of all, they got Simpsons every fucking thing. Okay? I got a Simpsons shirt and a Simpsons bonnet that I wear to the hospital. Okay, so it is a gift that keeps on giving. So as long as she is alive, it is given to her. I hope she got some kids, so it can. I don't think she got kids. I wish she did, so it can keep on giving it, keep on giving it, honey. Cause that is generational wealth. Point blank period. Okay. Anyway, but Kyle said looking at her jewelry, yeah, it is probably set over seven figures. And so Andy was like, for anyone's getting any ideas, she keep her jewelry in the bank, and she was like, yeah, I keep it in a safe deposit box and everything like that. Yeah, because listen, you don't want to keep your stuff in the house, because they rob people out there. So Andy, for anyone, yeah, okay, so then Andy said you had some digs during the season. And so during the after show, Jennifer said that PK can't afford the Beverly Hills Hotel. And he probably can't. She probably wasn't lying. But she was just like, double down on it. She was just like, that was tacky. I apologize of me. That was tacky. And she probably can't. And that's your opinion still. That's your opinion. Hell, he probably can't. It's okay. So Dorit was like, well, when I heard the comments, I felt like, you joined the Witches of Eastwick. And Garcelle was looking like, that ain't me. Sutton looked confused. But, so I was thinking to myself, so she joined Kyle and Erica? She joined Kyle and Erica? Okay, because those are the Witches of Eastwick, okay? Anyway, Kathy joins the stage. They done judged her up finally. And she joined the stage. Andy was like, well, how did it feel being fashion roadkill? And Kyle thought, she said, I thought you were going to the bathroom. Then Kathy was like, I was speaking to Mrs. Girardi. And so everybody was like, who in the hell is Miss Girardi? And then Erica was like, I'm Mrs. Girardi. And so she was like, oh, I was speaking to Mrs. Jane. And she was like, what the hell is your last name? And so she was like, Erica Jane is my stage name. And so then apparently Erica Nay, because apparently she has a what is it, a country middle name, but she didn't say what her last name was, but Kathy don't know, she's slow like that. And so Andy said, what's your secrets to getting the women to talk at dinner? And so Kathy was like, she said, well, I don't know. And then she said, well, what Bose said was so funny. And so Bose was like, yeah, you said you was Chinese. She said, yeah, it's probably funny. And so Kathy was like, this, it happened at the couture show. She said this lady walked up to me. She was like, what's your background? What's your full name? And so she was just like, she looked it up and she said, you were Chinese 300 years ago. No, 3,000 years ago. Not even 300. 3,000 years ago. And they was like, well, what's she looking up on? She was like her phone. On her phone. Ariel was like, so she Googled it or something? Yes, honey. She Anyway, oh my God. So on Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked Erica who sucks up to Kathy. And the first thing she said was Sutton. And then she said, followed by Garcelle. And that's the only reason why, because she don't like Sutton or Garcelle. But anyway, so, Andy asked, do they suck up to you? I'm talking to Kathy. And she was like, no. And so Garcelle said, well, based on what did you was why did you say that? Based on what? And she was like, that's my opinion. And then Sutton said, Kathy and I are friends. There's no sucking up. And so then Andy asked Sutton, what was your intention on the sisterhood ceremony? And so she said she wanted to bring it back together. She said because, we're fractured, and I just wanted to get to the point where if we get mad or angry at each other, then we apologize and we move forward. And so then a viewer wrote in and said, Dorit can call somebody the C word or cunt, basically. But what Sutton said when she said you are not mad at you are not mad at me, you're mad at your situation. What Sutton said went too low. And so Andy asked Garcelle, did Bowles overreact to that statement? And so Garcelle said, yeah. Garcelle is like, she's just like, yeah, she over it. Okay. So she was like, yeah. Okay. So Bowles was like, well, how was that overreacting? Those words were meant to hurt. And so Sutton said, no, I didn't. And she said Dorit was yelling at everybody. And so she was like, so I said what I said, to make her stop yelling at everybody. And so Bowles was like, well, there's a better way to get somebody to stop yelling. And so Sutton was like, I agree. There's a lot of things and a lot of better ways that I could say stuff. And so Bowles said, see, that's what is taking accountability. So then Andy added that Sutton, you abruptly interrupted Dorit when she was speaking about Jagger at the house. When she was like, everybody need to go and leave. Yeah. And so Sutton said production asked me to interrupt her. Production asked me to interrupt her, so I did. I'm not mad at it. Right. And so, but then Dorit started yelling, talking about, I thought you were Miss Manners. And so Sutton was like, I'm not Miss Manners anymore. And so she said, I did it poorly, and I take accountability for that. Dorit was like, you did it deliberately. And then she was like, where is the other Sutton that I saw this season? The Sutton that pierced eyes, and the Sutton that, gets all angry and stuff like that. That's the Sutton I want to see. This Sutton is fake. You just want to get Sutton activated. That's all. You just want that Sutton because you activated, so you want Sutton to be activated. And Sutton ain't playing your games until the end. But she ain't playing your games. Okay, Sutton was the calm, cool, and collected, and you over there talking about what you talking about, Miss Manners to the point where Bo's body language changed. He was like this, like, what the hell going on here? Yeah, Miss Manners. So yeah, she said you did it deliberately, and so what I put in there? Oh, then they were talking about the wallet statement. She was just like, pick on somebody who wallet fits yours. And then Erica was like, you think that you're bigger than her? And she was like, my wallet is. Yeah. So they asked Garcelle, can you defend Sutton about the Wallace statement, and she was like, "No, I cannot defend her," and pretty much. And then Sutton said she said herself, she can't defend herself. She was like, she was wrong with that statement, and she had already apologized for it. But let me tell you, Jennifer pulled out some, I don't know what it was, but she was crunching on the stage to the point where they had to turn her mic off, okay? Because she bit into it, so you hear the crunch, and then all of a sudden you ain't hear nothing because they had to turn her mic off, because I'm quite sure she was still crunching. Okay? I was like, back, and Kathy pulled out some gum. These friends of the show is crazy as shit, okay? They don't care. Because why? Because they both rich as shit. So they don't care what the fuck going on, okay? They both rich as shit, okay? But, so then Dorit still going off on, Sutton, talking about you think you're it, you think you're the Queen of Sheba. You live on the main road. She live on the main road in Bel Air. So fucking what? So fucking what? She was like, yeah, you live on the main road. You used to buying people. You used to buying people, and then Sutton was like, who have I bought? And no, this is what she said. She said, who have I bought, honey? And then she go. Then Dorit was like, here she comes. Here she comes. Dorit. And that was the end of the show. But Dorit, let me ask you a question. You are activated through this whole reunion and this whole season because you need this paycheck. Okay? And I'm not mad at that. Okay? Because you got kids that you need to support, because PK ain't supporting you. You almost you may be foreclosed out your house. And so you doing whatever you can do to keep this check. I'm not mad at that either, because you gonna be in one bedroom and one bathroom a casita like your sister Erica Jane. Okay? And you got 2 kids, so you can't be in a 1 bedroom. So you gonna be in Encino, California, trying to be on the Beverly Hills. Okay, you gonna be on Rancho Cucamonga, or so whatever. Okay, okay, you gonna be in Inglewood, trying to be on Beverly Hills. So I understand why you so activated. Okay, why you so activated? Because you got to keep your check. Whatever. Anyway, that I had to get off my soapbox on that though, because I was just like, why is because this was the whole episode was Dorit, and I was just like, but I was thinking to myself, she got to do whatever she can do to stay on this show because she need this check. I'm not mad at it. I would do whatever I need to do, especially since I got small kids, unlike Kyle, who got big kids and she need to come out the closet. I would do it because I got these small kids. I'm not mad at her. Okay, you ain't gonna do that to Garcelle next season though, because she out of there. Okay. And Bowles, you still need to watch your back, because if it comes to you, her turning on you and her staying on the show, she gonna turn on you, baby. She gonna turn on you. Mark my words. Love you though. Okay, give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.